No. No. But remember, when we started, we did have prompters still on the stage.
Yeah, we did.
And then they took them away, and the panic that went through half the staff was not fun to watch. I mean, it was a nice little fallback, but, it was live theater. It was a really glory days of television for all of us. I mean, it was just wonderful. And Jerry and I used to travel all over the country doing appearances together to the point where we referred to each other as weekend husband and wife, right, Jerry?
Yeah, we spent a lot of times in a lot of airports and a lot of malls.
Oh, God, and Jerry was always so good because I was always buying a souvenir, and he was always lugging it on the plane. So thank you, Jerry. such a gentleman to the end, I've got to say, And his wife was so understanding of us having to be out there and, meeting the wonderful people all over. I mean, I remember us being mobbed once in a limousine. Was that in Virginia? Remember they were pounding on the limousine?
Yeah, that was a little frightening. Yeah.
Yeah, that was frightening. That's so you know what it's like to be a rock star, right?
Well, I didn't want the limo to run over anybody.
Yeah, really. It was scary because they get in front. They don't want you to leave. So that was really amazing. But we've had some amazing experiences all over the country with all the wonderful people of America. There's just so many people to meet, and it's just, it was wonderful being with Jerry. And Elizabeth came on, I think, after I left, right?
I came on 1992.
19 when?
1992.
Yeah, you came on after this. I didn't get the opportunity to work with you.
I was a fan. I watched your wedding too,
Oh, sweet.
I was a big fan of Guiding Lights before I ever came on. When I went in to do my screen test with Jerry, I was just starstruck. But I also knew everything about everybody. I was like, oh, no, you don't have to give me backstory. I got this character. I know what's going on here.
No. But even after I left the show, I watched it till the end. I would check it out, at least weekly and check out everybody because I thought everybody was really, really good. I thought this, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I mean, we were a real rep company with people that cared about each other and cheered each other on and, patted each other on the back when we thought they did a good scene. Because we could all see from the makeup rooms, we could see what was being filmed while people were filming. So we watched each other's work, we're cheering each other on. I mean, it was just possibly the best working experience I've ever had. And it's just wonderful. I'm really happy to have been a part of that history with you guys. So I hope that our fans always remember it. And I hope let's bring some more soaps back, right?
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, let's bring it all back. Yeah,
we're all
and
for
it's funny. Years ago, I did a commercial, an anti-smoking commercial, and my parents all stopped smoking because of it. And 60 Minutes actually showcased it. I wish they'd bring it back because it was very simple. It was a bride and a groom getting married in church, and you heard the ceremony saying, I take this man, this woman. And you hear the whole ceremony, and then you saw I was the bride, and the groom and I get into the limousine. And as you heard the words, until death do you part, he lit up a cigarette, and then it went to freeze frame. I mean, that says it all,
Oh, yeah.
If everybody would just quit smoking. Please just quit smoking. Don't take the first cigarette. You know better, just let's keep everybody healthy. Let's keep going forward, and let's make a difference in the world. And like Jerry and Elizabeth and Wendy are, you're just doing amazing work, and that makes a difference. It does. It does, really.
You said it all and more, definitely. A lot of kids learn from watching TV, even adults, of course, but, you got to catch them while they're young. And when you have important messages like that interspersed even in a storyline or, a commercial, they get that. A lot of times you don't think that they do, but they get it.
Yeah. No, we just, the only thing that our fame, our little fame was good for was the good we can do with it. That's what I feel very much. When you have a position where you can get out there and talk to people about things, and it's important, and what you're doing is really great. And just Guiding Light was wonderful. It was like we said it was the MGM musical. Remember Lisa Brown doing all of her Betty Davis?
And
I do.
Of our show, it's about in TV Guide. So I wrote Betty Davis a letter, and she wrote back and said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to come visit you guys and tell you you're all great." And so I posted the letter in the studio for everybody. And then Marsha Clark wrote a very funny letter back from Joan Collins. It was a spoof about the letter of Betty Davis. Was cute and posted it for everybody about don't use wire hangers and all that stuff. Oh. We had fun. We had fun. We had, we worked hard. We had fun, right? It was great. It was good years. Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I'd like to go ahead and bring our caller on that's been holding for this hour before everybody like to say hello. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Dom, you're live on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, my friend. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dom.
Yes, and hello to all the guests. How are you all doing today?
Very good. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I do want to say to you, Mr. VerDorn, I do want to thank you and the rest of the cast of One Life to Live for coming back. Even if the legacy of Clint Buchanan ends with him in a hospital bed about to be attacked by Allison Perkins, I am happy that at the very least you guys came back and you put on a product that, in my opinion, was just as good as when you were on ABC, if not better. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and I think you'll be looking forward to season 2 once all the big boys quit suing each other, and I think you'll see season 2 of All My Children and One Life to Live.
Well, I really hope so. I really do. This is the first time I've had the chance to speak to both you and Ms. Keifer, and my question to the both of you was, chemistry is always an important thing when it comes to soap opera couples, and there's always different chemistry with different actresses. And I was wondering, what was it like for the two of you when you first started acting together? Could you sense there was chemistry between the two of you from when you first started, or did you feel that it took a while for it to develop?
Go ahead, dear.
How could there not be chemistry with Mr. VerDorn? I mean, the chemistry was the fact that Jerry basically took care of me from day one. I was a nervous wreck. I was crazy, but he's just so generous and wonderful. And I remember early on that first week I was on the show, and I was intimidated, and it was a little kind of falling apart. I remember that Jill Phelps came up to me, the executive producer, and she said, "I just want you to love him." I went, "Really? Oh, I can do that." Yeah, she said, "Forget about anything else. Just love him." And from that day on, I just did what she said. It was pretty much instantaneous. Their chemistry, we didn't have to work hard. I speak for myself, but we are good friends. So, and I think we are generous with each other on stage as well as off stage, and that's what you saw. There are not a lot of actors that are so wonderful and giving like Jerry. I mean, he's just the quintessential leading man. So I have that to say about that one. Now you can take it, Jerry.
I wrote that for her. It's always, I mean, what's chemistry, and everybody's always trying to figure it out and put it in a bottle. But it's lighter than angels, and it's very whimsical and comes and goes, and you can't force it. And we never did. It just happened for us, and as people and as performers, and we just, for the longest time, for the time we were together, we just sat back and enjoyed the dance, because that's kind of what it's all about. And luckily it came through the screen and people recognized it and liked it. So
yeah,
we were blessed.
I saw some clips on YouTube of the two of you, and the one thing I always like, one thing I could tell about a good actor is that a good actor knows when to blur the line, between fiction and reality. And there were times where I would see Ross and Blake on screen, and I would think to myself, is this Ross and Blake or is this Jerry and Liz? You couldn't tell the difference, and it's like, if you said you trust each other, to get through the scenes, and I think you guys made for a good couple. Unfortunately, everything is coming to an end. 2005, Ross Marler gets on a plane, it crashes in Lansville. He thinks he's Clint Buchanan. My question to Miss Keifer is, what was it like when Jerry left Guiding Light and went to One Life to Live?
Oh, well, that was difficult, for a lot of reasons. It was interesting because it did push Blake into a new chapter of her life. But it was, it was life that was change, and I had to go through that grieving process, and there was never anybody that replaced Jerry in that sense, because that would be difficult to do. So if anything, that was the hard part of just where to plug my character in after there was no Ross. I mean, who is Blake without Ross? I don't think anybody knew.
That's what I was about to say. You two had spent 13 years on the same show together, and Ross and Blake had become so defined as a couple that when Ross dies, Blake has to find out who she is on her own. And the last 4 years of Guiding Light, do you feel that Blake had done just that?
Oh, I think Blake had only just begun. Okay. Unfortunately, I really kind of waded into the background for a while because nobody knew what to do, and everything was so up in the air. And the last year, the last 6 months especially, suddenly there was a program. There was, okay, we're getting back on track here, and we know where we're going to go, and they had actually amazing story for Blake, and then the show went off the air. So I don't think that the audience really got a chance to see Blake fulfill all that. It was in writing, ready to go, but I touched the tip of the iceberg with getting together with Frank. I did like that. I thought that came full circle with those veteran actors and those two characters who had been friends, and it was finding love on a different type of love for a different time of life. And I thought it was kind of fascinating going into, if anybody was going to raise a child and share raising a child with a pair of with the lesbian couple,
yeah.
and Frank, it would be Blake. So that was kind of perfect.
Yeah,
and Blake loved everybody. We were going to be one big happy family.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's right. Blake wound up with Frank at the end. I still think she should have wound up with Doris, but that's just me. I really don't have anything else to ask, so I'm going to go ahead and take my leave. But like I said to Pam, I was there with you on the first show, and here we are a year later. I am so happy at the success that you have, and I wish you continued success in the future, my friend.
Thank you, Don, for calling in. You enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too.
Yeah, I want to say something about before Dom gets off.
Sure.
Very nice sentiments, and I want all of you who are on the telephone and all of you who are listening to go to YouTube, because somebody sent me there because it was the anniversary of the election show that we did in 1992, and I want you to see Liz Keifer at her best entering a limousine like nobody else can enter a limousine.
Oh, no.
Election show, and they've got the opening there, and you'll see Liz enter a car like nobody's business.
I could definitely do that.
Oh, that's nice.
To all of you, I wish you guys continued success in all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. And I want to thank each and every one of you, Wendy, Jerry, Liz, and Elvira, for calling in. I really appreciate it. It's made my day, and it's made what I do for the past year. I feel so blessed and grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pam, and
thank
congratulations.
you. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's a cold. I'll get over it. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Thanksgiving. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.